Hey everybody, Duco Loco here. That stands for Duplin County, North Carolina. As you can see, there's a blinking light on the water tower. Blinking a little fast for scale, but that's just the speed they blink at. Those lights are rated for like 10 volts. It says 12 to 16, but man, if you put them on 12 volts, they don't blink at all. If you put them on 3 volts, they don't even light up. So I found 10 volts is just a good voltage for them. Let's come over here to the warehouse. I got a green flashing light, and if you'll notice on that trailer there, I got red flashing lights at both of those docks. You just can't see them, but with the flash you know that they're there. Yeah, here, let's get this on while we're down on this end of the table. That cardboard there is going to be painted with a fall, it's going to be a fall backdrop of some kind, because I don't want to see this train again until it crosses. Once it goes behind the building, I don't want to see it until it crosses here where the cantilevers are in place. And I got plans to hide that cardboard as much as possible, but keep the train hidden also. It's like a tunnel, but not a tunnel. Something else I have done while we're down on this end is I have put in the cement here where the warehouse is. That's going to get covered with a lot of grass, really, and so is these other sidings here. They're going to get covered with a lot of grass because they don't get used a lot. But let's see, anything else going on in this area here that's new, other than my propane tanker. I believe I've told you about that. I got it. I've also, I don't know if you've noticed it, but I flopped this around. I had the tanks over here and the building over here, but it gives me so much more room if I flop it around. That ain't really the way the layout was originally designed, but it is what it is. That's the way it works the best. Coming down here, I've done a little bit of scenery work here, and I've ballasted about 2.5 feet of track. And brother, let me tell you, I've heard everybody say that ballasting is hard, it's tedious, and they are right. Holy crap. Anyways, definitely a learning curve on that, so learning more and more as I go. Let's see, while we're waiting on the train to come through, because I want to talk about her. You know, I've got my little siding here, my rip track, or just an old abandoned track that's covered mostly in grass. I've got it done. I'm pretty pleased with the way it turned out, being that was the first track that I tried to ballast and make look like it had been used a long time ago type stuff. And I park cars, if I want to work on them, this is where I carry them, and then I carry them over to the workbench and work on them. Also, I've got this little scene here with the pipe. Excuse me. I made those dirt piles with Sculptamold, and sprinkled in, or I dabbed in some Sculptamold, not Sculptamold, what's it called? Mod Podge. Damn, I don't know where my brain's at. But anyhow, I put in some, this is my third time tonight trying to make a video, okay? So cut me some slack. I took some Mod Podge and just dabbled in places and sprinkled grass on it, and then vacuumed up what the Mod Podge didn't hold down, and I think it turned out real nice for what it is. Being the train's gone, let me hit this right quick. Yeah, there's a little fella there. He's fixing to, got his lunchbox. He's fixing to go to work. But I want to talk about this one a minute. I've weathered her, and I did it with just Walmart acrylic paint and a makeup sponge and very little brush. I didn't do a whole lot of brush. It was mostly makeup sponge, and it turned out pretty dang well for somebody that don't know what they're doing. It turned out real nice. Very pleased with it. Also, the lights, I changed out the incandescent bulbs, and she is now running full LEDs, ditch lights and main headlights. My headlights, they don't flash. I don't have that kind of decoder. I ain't that fancy with it. So, is what it is. But I think it turned out real nice for somebody that don't know what they're doing. Anyways, here, let's run on down the track a little more. We're working our way around. I'm working from one end to the other so I don't forget nothing. I got it wrote down, but shit, after my third try, I've abandoned the book. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come down here and we're gonna talk about my ornaments. I was at an antique store and I found these John Deere ornaments, and they didn't want but like $4, and there was 4 tractors in there. So I bought them and took the hooks out of them, and now I got a couple of tractors here, and I got a couple of tractors at the farm scene. And yeah, I think they turned out pretty nice for $4. I mean, man, you can't beat that. Something else I want to talk about is at a different antique barn, I found this old Southern gondola. It had the old horn hooks on it. It come with a roof, which I don't really care a whole lot to run that, but it looked brand spanking new, and I weathered it to make it look like the rest of my stuff. So I put Katie's on it and lubed it up good, and yeah, she's doing real good now. And here's another one I got. Wait a minute, let me stop this train. I want to talk about, there's 3 things here going on. I bought this. I think it's called an air slide. Is that what it's called? Because I looked them up, but it uses some kind of pneumatics to unload them. I've never seen these in Duplin County, but they wanted $5 for it, so I could not let that go. Brought it home, put some Katie's on it. I'm gonna weather it up, but yeah, she's doing great. I like that one. You know, I got these flatbed or flat cars at the New Bern Train Show back in, when was it, February, I think it was. But anyhow, I went to Tractor Supply and I picked up one of these, a double barrel pan, and I had this tractor, but I glued the wheels on them so they don't roll anymore. And you know, that way I could set them up here on my scene and they don't roll down, or I could set them on my flat cars, roll them around. So that's just what I got going on with the flat cars, making a load for them. But yeah, I'm enjoying these right here. Some of my new additions. Yeah, while we're into it, you know, right here was what I was talking about, making a backdrop, and that's what I want the end result to look like down on the other end. It'll just be in fall colors, not summer colors. But my window boxes, I finally got all my window boxes built. And I may have talked about this before. If I have, I apologize. But my window boxes there, I wanted a little bit of depth to them because, you know, this train going under the bridge and this train, that's 2 completely different trains. You know, we've already talked about how I want, you know, 2 scenes on this end and 3 scenes on the other end. But those trees right there, they have a little bit of depth. It's like 1.5 inches deep in there. But back here, these trees are actually, I shaved the back side. I don't know why it won't zoom, but anyhow, I shaved the back side of them off, and I wired them to the backdrop to give them a, you know, to give the backdrop a 3D look. I think I want to do the same thing to this here behind the feed mill. Just as long as the limbs are trimmed up enough where the rail cars don't hit them. It don't matter if they hang over. I mean, shoot, the real trees hang over the tracks all the time. At least they do around here. So, yeah, that's what I got going on. Like I say, I know it's been a while since I made an update. I've had a lot going on. I had a little surgery, so I'm down for about 2 weeks now out of work. So I'm gonna try to use that 2 weeks to the best of my abilities as I'm able, and get a little stronger and stronger each day to do a little more and more. I did drop in a few feeders over here because those are Picos, and they, you know, they're power routing, but they didn't never work all that great. So I put some power on them so that I could back my locomotives all the way in without having to worry about them routing power. But yeah, that's all I got. That's 10 minutes worth, and hell, half of y'all probably gone anyhow. There's like 3 people that watch my videos. Hey, how are y'all? Anyways, y'all have a good night. I mean, yeah, I'm still around. I didn't do an update in March, I think. Well, I did, but I deleted them because I didn't like them. I ain't gonna like this one, but I got to post something. So anyhow, this was my 3rd video for tonight. 3rd time's a charm, and I think we're gonna post this one because I did all right. I didn't screw it up. But anyhow, y'all have a good night, good day. Toodaloo. Hope you enjoyed it. I did.